Hi guys, what's up? How are you? It's Michele Arbolato here. So today we will discover the difference between a single malt versus a blended malt whiskey. Also we'll check what is a single cask and a blended whiskey. So stay tuned, stay with me, let's start. I'm Michele Arbolato, I'm an Italian sommelier. I started my career in Italy as a sommelier. I studied in the prestigious Italian sommelier school, and then I moved in the UK to London and I studied in the few international sommelier school as well. So I'm here to help you to sail through the wine and spirit world easily. So if this is the channel you're looking for, please subscribe to the channel, give the thumb up and click the notification bell so you won't miss any new video. And so basically, if you're looking to dig a little bit more in the wine and spirit world, I'm sure you can get some value out from this channel. So what is a single malt whiskey? Single malt whiskey means that it comes from a single grain, okay? And it is not blended with any other malt or whiskey. It is probably the most pure version one. It is the most expensive one. And one of my favorite are from Speyside, for instance, in Scotland, from the so famous Scotch whiskey. Glenfiddich, Glenfields are my favorites. That you can see here some picture of their bottles. I do recommend you to buy. So single malt basically is the pure version that is also used then to make all the variations that you will see now shortly. So but basically single malt, one grain, pure version. Probably is the highest expression of some whiskies in the world. The next category I want to talk about is the blended malt whiskey. So basically we do have whiskeys, malts that comes from different distilleries and then they blend together. So for instance we can have a single malt grain coming from one distillery, then from another one, then from another one. So there are many blends that comes in a blended malt whiskey. So usually why this blend is made? So if we have basically we get a kind of more rounded whiskey, a bit more mellow whiskey. We can take all the qualities coming from different distilleries. So it started, for instance, in the past because we had these wines, maybe they have an excess of production, and so they invented these categories. So there were some people taking a cask from this distillery, a cask from the other one, and so on. So that they invented the blended malt. And also it is cheaper because let's say you can blend a different quality of malt, and usually it also started for this purpose. However, there are some good examples. My favorite is a Monkey Shoulder, that is a blend of single malt in Speyside. So even here we are in Scotland, Scotch whiskey, and compared maybe to a single malt whiskey from the Speyside, this one is a bit more mellow and rounded, very elegant. It's good as a starting approach point of to the whiskey world. So in this channel basically we are covering topics about wine and spirits. We are digging in deep to understand basically the main difference, the main features of this wine, and also I give some tips how to basically recognize at the best value quality, what to buy, finding some hidden gems around the world. So if this is the channel you are looking for, please subscribe to the channel, giving the thumb up and click the notification bell and click the subscribe button so you won't miss any new video, and you help me in supporting me with the YouTube algorithms and also in making more videos. So thank you very much. Okay, so then we have the blended whiskey category. Blended whiskey category can be similar to the blended malt category, but here it's basically literally final product whiskey blended together, and then maybe they are aged in some barrels also to get a bit more harmony together. However, normally, so there are very good expression. Hibiki by Suntory, Hibiki Harmony by Suntory is so far the best one expression. You know, it is also quite expensive, but however, normally blended whiskey are quite cheap and they are mainly used, I would say, for cocktails. So you can use this blended whiskey to put in a cocktails. So anyway, you don't need to get the purity of the whiskey. That's why it has been invented, also to get some value out of these whiskey that usually are expensive. So cheaper usually. Of course, there are some good expression, but blended whiskey I will go only for cocktails or buy just the good one as the Japanese one, Suntory Hibiki Harmony, to get some very good expression. So it is a bit more mellow, it is a bit more rounded, it is less rustic, and it is a starting point very good also if you are looking to start to approach the whiskey world, because it's not maybe some sharp or peated or smoky as maybe can be some other whiskey single malt from around the world. And then there is a category that is one of my favorite, that is the single cask whiskey, or single barrel whiskey, I should say. So basically it's a whiskey that comes from a single recipient, from a single barrel, and it is usually these barrels are rum, ex-rum barrels or ex-sherry barrels, and basically this container transfer to the whiskey all these aroma of this previous liquid that was in there. So one of my favorite is Tandu, that is aged in rum cask. But also, for instance, Bourbon is really beautiful. It is aged in sherry or Rosso cask. So you have all these aromas of vanilla, of almonds, of tofu. It's really beautiful. Caramel as well. They are usually a bit more mellow than maybe it can be a single pure malt whiskey. Beautiful, especially if you are having, I don't know, you're reading a book and you're having a nice whiskey with you. This is really, it really does the job. So Tandu and Balvenie are my best recommendation to try as a single cask whiskey. Okay, so let's do now a quick recap. So we do have the single malt whiskey that are usually the purest expression of the whiskey. My favorite comes from Speyside. We do have a bit of honeysuckle, a bit of apple, quince, and a bit of woodiness that comes from the cask they've been. Then we do have the blended malt whiskey, that is a blend of single malt whiskey, and they can be 2, 3, 4, 5 blended together. Then we do have the blended whiskey, that usually is the cheapest one, and it is mainly recommended for cocktails to mix with, because they've been invented for this purpose. However, there are some exceptions, as the one I said from Suntory, the Harmony Hibiki, beautiful. And then we do have the single cask. Single cask probably is one of my favorite because they are a bit more mellow, a bit more rounded, and they get all the aromas of the previous liquid that was inside the cask, as can be sherry or rum, for instance. So I hope you have a clear understanding of the differences, the terminology used in the whiskey world. So if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and give the thumb up, and I hope to see you in the next one. Ciao!